to the same place where it was put until I drill a hole.
Yeah.
So I put it back in the place, and I drilled the holes, and went back to the corner, lifted up the gate,
Yeah.
took it back, put it into the holes. Luckily, it was the right spots.
By yourself?
By myself.
And it weighed
About 150, I would say.
150 pounds?
150 pounds, all equivalent. I never weighed it. And I didn't feel anything, really, except a little tired. A few days later, I started to get a pain in my chest.
Yeah.
So Selma got very, very nervous.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, the gate, the wrought iron gate was in its place and everything. And I had forgotten about that. And she said, let's rush over to the cardiologist. Dr. Kesselbrenner, may he rest in peace, he died. Anyway, we went over to him. Or we called him up. He says, take him over to the hospital. Ran over to the emergency. They took me in right away. They shot me full of LASIK, because the first thing they do is they want to get rid of the fluid in your body.
Yeah.
And the salts. And they examined my heart, and it's normal.
Was it just a muscle strain, you think?
It's a muscle strain
Yeah.
on that. So that was it. But that's when I...
Were you scared?
well, I could still breathe normally. Just a little pain when that was it, but it wasn't any sharp pain or anything like that.
Did you think you were dying or no?
No. Well, I didn't think I was dying. I just said to Selma, I have a pain over here. And look, at that time, what was it, 19. We bought the house in 80, so this must have been 90. So 24, let's see.
1990?
1990, so it
1980.
was 60 in my 60s, I guess.
Yeah. What year were you born?
24.
What date?
December 18th, the same day as little...
What's your first memory in life?
First memory, I was well, I may have had vague memories before, but I was in a hospital room with my brother, and we both had typhoid fever.
This is Harold?
Harold. And he was 6.5 years older than me, I think. I was 3, he was about 9.5.
You were 3?
Yeah.
And you remember that?
Yeah. And I was on the 10th floor.
The 10th floor? Of what hospital?
Beth David Hospital on
Where?
70th Street. And
In the Bronx or
No, in Manhattan.
Oh, in Manhattan.
Right near where Beth Israel used to be. It's there, not there anymore. It's
What street was this?
17th.
Oh, 17th Street.
17th.
And like First Avenue or something like that?
First Avenue.
Yeah.
Right above Alphabet City, not too far away.
Right. I know where that is.
Yeah. And
How long did it take you to get over the typhoid fever?
well, we were in a hospital, I don't know, a number of weeks.
Weeks.
Yeah, at least 2 to 3 weeks.
How did you catch typhoid fever?
We were up in the country, and we must have either drank contaminated water or milk from a unpasteurized, straight milk from an unpasteurized cow, which a lot of people drank in those times.
Okay.
They used to milk the cow, and
Yeah.
then they used
And then
to,
just drink it straight
the
up.
milk used to cool off,
Yeah.
and they used to drink it.
Didn't you think it's weird to drink the milk of an animal that doesn't look anything like a human?
No.
No.
No. When I drink the milk, I don't look them in the eye. So
Yeah. But you got to get to that milk. You got to milk its udder.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. When you eat a steak, it doesn't concern me.
Wouldn't it be kind of weird though if you saw a dog walk up to a cow and try and like drink the milk from its udder?
I wouldn't say it was strange. I imagine it has happened.
You think?
Oh, it has happened.
Yeah.
It has happened.
But I mean, even a
Yeah,
dog and a cow.
They've raised animals on pigs,
Yeah.
dogs, cats,
Yeah.
and stuff.
But
When
don't most animals go for its own mother's milk, its own species?
Yeah, but in some cases where they can't get, sometimes their mother is killed
Yeah.
or abandons them, and
Yeah.
somebody finds them. And many a farmer has probably taken a cat and a dog and given it a pig's udder to drink from.
Many people in the raw foods world would say, you know, if you didn't get your mother's milk from your own mother, it's too late. Unless you want to look like a cow.
Well, years ago, you used to have what they call a milk mother. In other words, a lot of times these people that came from Europe and stuff like that couldn't make their own milk, their own mother's milk.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to have a surrogate, a woman who, I guess, lactated quite often, which some people do, used to nurse the baby for the mother, and that is before they had these prefab milks for the babies, you know.
The formula.
Formulas.
You think the formula was good for the child, or?
I would say not as good as mother's milk.
Yeah. Were you breastfed as a child?
I assume so. I would
Yeah.
assume so. In those
Yeah.
days, no formulas.
Yeah.
In those days, you had Heinz ketchup and Heinz baked beans, and that was the outside. Everything else my mother would prepare.
What's the secret of being happy in life?
Take things as they come, not to project. You can make a mess of projections. You filming me now?
Is that okay?
I'll drink to that. Okay.
I want to capture this so that I can remember this forever, or for a long time.
Well, look, another 5 years, we'll do a rehash.
You're going to make it to 105, right?
Nah,
Come on.
I don't think so, but I'm not looking backwards, I'm not looking forwards. I'm going to take every day as it comes.
One day at a time?
One day at a time. That's
Is
it.
every day that you wake up a
That's
miracle?
it. And be able to look at the obituaries.
How come you like looking at the obituaries every day?
Well, I do it not so much because I'm finding somebody who's younger than me that went. It's the fact that I tried to, first I look, if it's somebody prominent, then I would read the obituaries. Then I would look for names that sound Jewish.
Yeah.
Then I would go down and scroll down. If their life was interesting, I'd read the whole obituary.
Right.
If not, I would scroll down and find out, because towards the end of the middle of the obituary, they would give the history of where the person was born, where they went to school, their parents' names, and their siblings' names. And I try to find out if they graduated from a school in the Bronx, or they were born in the Bronx, or in Brooklyn, or Manhattan, if their parents were Jewish, if their parents were either refugees or they immigrants, or in a lot of cases, these people that are dying.
What do you like about getting that information?
Like anything else, it sort of makes me proud that I came from the Bronx. A lot of prominent people came from the Bronx.
Mm-hmm.
And
You were born in the Bronx?
was born in the Bronx. I was born in a house, not a hospital.
A house?
A house on Vise Avenue.
Natural birth or
Natural. Natural.
in a
They
bath?
didn't have anything like, well, they may have had cesarean in those days, but that wasn't done.
You weren't born in a bathtub?
No, I don't know how I was born. But all I know is my
Yeah.
father got stinking drunk that night.
How do you know he got drunk?
I was told. Somebody told me that.
This is my great-grandfather, Shia.
Yeah,
Shia?
yeah. Because I was the youngest of three, and
Yeah.
I guess
Did you ever meet Isaac's father or mother?
my grandfather.
Did you ever meet his mother or father?
Yeah, his father.
What was
His
Isaac's?
His mother died when he was relatively young.
What was Isaac's father's name?
Oh, not Isaac's father.
Yeah.
Isaac is my grandfather.
I know. Did you ever meet his father? Your great-grandfather?
No, they were from Europe.
Yeah.
Isaac was born as my father was born, as the rest of his uncles and aunts were born in Europe.
When was Isaac born?
Isaac must have been born, let's see, he died in 1936. And he was probably in his 70s. Figure he was 70. So in 36, let's see, 1900, that would be
1856?
and it would be 1856, something like that.
Or 1866?
Yeah, he was born in
Yeah.
the mid-1800s.
Yeah.
On that, that would be Isaac would be born.
What was his mother's and father's name?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
It's in the family tree, right?
Yeah. Somewhere Evan may know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Because we had a little booklet and it gave the history of the Benai Isaac family circle.
Yeah.
And it was named after Isaac.
Yeah.
It was my grandfather.
Yeah.
Now, my father came here in 1910. His father, my grandfather, came here in 1921.
What year was Shia born?
He was born, I think, in 93.
1893?
93, yeah.
And Clara?
About the same
At
time.
the same
I
time?
think there was 1 year
Separation?
disparity.
Yeah.
1 or 2 years. Anyway, my father, when he came,
I remember, I met Clara when I was a little child.
Yeah,
I remember her.
yeah.
But I never met Shia.
My father?
Yeah. I was born after he passed away, and I
When
was
you were
named
born?
after him. 1968,
1968,
Yeah.
a year later, yeah.
a year later, and I was named after him,
Yeah,
but I never got to meet him.
yeah. Oh, he was a jolly guy. He would have had fun with you. You would have had fun with him.
I would have had fun with him.
He loved the grandchildren,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
He was a good spirit, huh?
yeah, yeah. But
You think you got inherited?
his, what?
You think you got some of his traits?
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. And I think he got some of his father's.
Isaac?
Isaac was a happy guy, even though
He
he was
was?
a rabbi
Yeah.
and he was a shachid, ritual killer.
Ritual killer?
Yeah, you would hate him.
Oh, he would kill animals.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah.
Well, that's how these kosher.
Yeah, that's how they lived.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't hate him.
yeah, and he also was a moil. He did the
moil?
circumcision. Yeah,
Did he like doing that?
he liked doing that. It was a profession. Does a heart doctor like to dig into a heart? No.
Yeah, I mean, but that's
No,
the
but
moil.
He collects for $90,000.
The moil is the first time the baby feels a ton of pain, probably.
Yeah, well, look, he was the rabbi for a whole bunch of small Jewish towns
Yeah.
in Galicia, which is the Czechoslovakia used to have that. It was, what was the name of the mountain chain that they called it? It was...
The Alps?
Not the Alps, it was...
Where?
in Czechoslovakia, which is now the Czech
Yeah.
Republic.
Yeah.
And And this before Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovakia didn't come into existence until after World War One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
So,
think the circumcision is healthy for a baby?
I would assume so. Yes.
You don't think it
Much healthier than
not doing it?
than not doing it.
Yeah. That's a nasty job.
Well, the kid cries once and
Thank God he doesn't remember it.
and heals up first and heals up fast.
Uncle Arthur.
You never know if they remember it or not. It
I
could
don't
be-
remember mine.
No,
I don't want to remember
I
it.
don't either. No.
That's why they do it when they're so young. If you remember it, it'd be a nightmare.
Well, there's an 8-day period, and it has to be done in 8 days unless the child is somehow incapacitated or physically not able to.
How did Isaac learn how to do that? Did his father teach him?
Well, it's a profession. It's a rabbi. You have to be a rabbi to be a moil.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be a moil to be a rabbi. In other words, it's like an ordinary general practitioner, which you don't find very much around,
Yeah.
as opposed to a cardiologist.
Right.
In other words, you could be a general practitioner, not be a cardiologist, but you have to be a doctor to be a cardiologist. You have to be a rabbi to be a moil.
Did you ever go up close and watch what the moil does?
I held my great-grandson when he was circumcised.
Yeah.
But that is generally done where the male covers up when he doesn't. You know, he puts his body in front.
Yeah.
I was holding the baby. The baby was transferred to, I think they call him the sandik.
Yeah.
And he holds the baby.
Yeah.
And in most cases, the person looks away when it's done.
Yeah.
And before you know it, it's all over.
When I've been to
The
them,
doctor takes a piece of sugar that was dipped in wine and touches it to the baby's lips.
what does that do? Try to get their attention away from the pain?
No, they'd start to yell from the pain, I guess.
Right.
There is a pain involved, even though we're a little kid.
Yeah.
And
It hurts me when it's happening.
so anyway, that's it. And what time is it now?
All right. Can you have any last words to say to the camera before I stop filming you?
Yes. God bless the vegans and all other people.
But you don't believe in God.
Well, that's true too.
That's true.
Well, let's say, what could I say? Genomes bless all the vegans. May they all be healthy.
A long, healthy, prosperous life.
Prosperous, right.
All right, Uncle Arthur. Arrivederci.
Right. And I hope to see you again.
You will.
Okay. Yeah. So you're going back on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be going
And you
to
folks
Nolan
are-
Laurie's.
What?
We're going to Nolan Laurie's tomorrow.
Yeah. Your folks are going there too?
My folks are going there also, and then we leave from the airport on Saturday.
Same also at the
Yeah, they go to Florida, and I go
You're
back
going
to
to
California.
Okay. What is it, a 5-hour trip?
Yeah. Closer to 6.
What airport do you land on?
It goes from JFK to San Diego, and they land at, I think, West Palm Beach. Yeah. My flight's a little bit longer.
Yeah. So you